this movie gets all of these little things right, like the rules of evidence and the different stages of a trial and the thing about discovery and all of that, right? And how examination and cross-examination happen, all of that, and how Vinny kind of deals with the different witnesses, where he only asks a question if he knows the answer, and he never says, like, he never makes any declarative statements. He always asks questions, guiding the witness into saying what he needs them to say in order to build his case. And he systematically casts doubt on the different witnesses by demonstrating they can't be as sure as they say they are about having identified the boys in kind of that rest stop and whatever. So like all of these little details of how a court case actually unfolds is accurate, like 98%, according to lawyers.
I was going to say, it did feel like it as I was watching it. It did feel like once we actually got to the good parts of it, we actually got to the kind of crux of the trial. You know, like you were saying, like the cross-examinations and the questioning back and forth and the type of questions that you were asking. So I had like minimal experience of like magistrates court in high school, where we were kind of doing like mock trials and stuff like that. And you kind of like taught that some of this stuff. I kind of like can recognize some of the like techniques and stuff that's in there.
The reason most shows and movies kind of throw all of that out of the window is that the conventional wisdom is that audiences will get bored and this gets in the way of the drama. And it's just a better story if you focus on the human part and all the technical stuff. And this is not just in legal dramas, this is medical dramas, this is any profession you've ever seen on screen probably doesn't behave that way in real world. Anybody who has ever seen their own profession or something they know about shown on film, it's almost never authentic. But in those rare cases where it is, or the more authentic it is, the better it is, in my opinion. And watch almost any other courtroom drama, and it's all the big speeches and the emotional appeals and the shock reveals and the surprise witnesses, none of which is consistent with how a court case actually works. And I think this is kind of the poster child for this whole make it authentic and make the details matter. That then enables the good story, right? Like this would not work without Vinny struggling with the procedural stuff, right? And that only works if the procedural stuff matters. And that is kind of the foundation for his conflict with him and the judge specifically, but also the prosecuting lawyer, and also in a way with Mona Lisa. Without that, the movie would not work. You could not make a movie in which it's just all about the big speeches and the big egos and the loud performances and all of that.
But I feel like this movie anyway is kind of, as you were saying, is like a blend of like the human and the kind of scientific part in a sense that you're almost like rooting for him. The movie kind of does take you on a nice journey with him, and like you said, you know, all of the kind of like lawyer jargon stuff is relevant because it's part of his character and it's part of his growth.